Esteemed dignitaries and distinguished guests, a very warm welcome to the inaugural ceremony of the National Level Open Hardware IoT Geospatial Hackathon, conducted by IIT Bombay-FOSSEE in association with IIT Tirupati and ICFOSS. We are extremely delighted to be a part of this mega event. This momentous occasion marks the commencement of a journey towards innovation, collaboration, and an impactful change. I extend my heartfelt gratitude to all our esteemed guests who have graced us with their presence today.
Let's give a warm welcome to Ms. Chitra MS, Additional Secretary to Government of Kerala, Registrar of ICFOSS, to deliver the welcome address and to set the tone of our proceedings. Please join me in the welcoming her.
Thank you. Honorable Chief Guest, to be arrived, distinguished higher officials, others present here, warm greeting to all of you from here, from ICFOSS team. It is my distinct honor and privilege to extend a warm welcome to all of you. We gather here today for the inauguration of national level Open Hardware-IoT Geospatial Hackathon organized by IIT Bombay, IIT Tirupati and ICFOSS. Your presence adds immense value to the momentous occasion, and we are truly honored to have you join as we have embarked on this exciting journey of innovation and collaboration. I will take the honor of welcoming each one of you to the event. First of all, I am on behalf of ICFOSS and members of organizing team, we would like to welcome our chief guest to be arrived, Rajamanikam sir, Principal Director, LSED. Sir, next I would like to welcome our distinguished guest, Dr. Saji Gobinath, Vice Chancellor, Digital University, Kerala and KTU. Sir. Sri Rahul Krishna Sharma, IAS, CEO, Smart City, Thiruvananthapuram Limited. Sri A. Nizamuddin, IAS, Director, MNREGA. Professor Pennan Chinnasamy, IIT Bombay. Professor Roshan Srivastava, IIT Tirupati. And Dr. Sunil, TT Director, one and all ICFOSS. Your presence here today is a testament to our unwavering support for initiatives that promote technological advancement and foster creativity. Your guidance and encouragement inspire us to push the boundaries of what is possible to explore new frontiers in the realm of open hardware, IoT, and geospatial technologies. I would like to extend a warm welcome to all esteemed higher officials representing various organizations who are here, kindly accepting our invitation. We feel proud to have the presence of such leaders and visionaries who derive initiative that result in progress and empower the next generation of innovators. I would like to extend a heartfelt welcome and express my gratitude to all others present here for your enthusiasm, dedication, and passion, your willingness to collaborate, experiment and push the boundaries of creativity is what makes event like this possible. And I have no doubt that your contributions will have the way for groundbreaking solutions to emerge. As we gather here today to inaugurate the hackathon, let us embrace the spirit of collaboration, curiosity, and ingenuity. Let us seize this opportunity to exchange ideas, share knowledge, and work together towards a common goal of addressing real-world challenges through innovation and technologies, that is, as to embark to this journey together with enthusiasm, determination, and a shared sense of purpose. Thank you once again.
Thank you, Ms. Chitra MS, for your gracious welcome and words of encouragement. Now, let us welcome Mr. Mohammad Qasim Khan, the National Coordinator of FOSSEE GIS, NMEICT, IIT Bombay, to provide an overview of the GIS initiatives undertaken by IIT Bombay-FOSSEE.
Good afternoon to everyone. Respected chief guest of the gathering today, Dr. Sunil, the entire team of ICFOSS who has been behind this grand inauguration event for the IIT Bombay-FOSSEE GIS Hackathon, and also the world's biggest geospatial mapping event, IIT Bombay-FOSSEE Geospatial Mapathon today. Because I just have 5 minutes slot, I'll just quickly take you through of what we have to offer here. At the FOSSEE project of IIT Bombay, the FOSSEE project of IIT Bombay started in the year 2009, and it is funded through a mission called National Mission on Education through ICT, funded by the Ministry of Education, Government of India. So we are happy to have Rajamanikam sir among us. So yeah, so FOSSEE project is basically a project based out of IIT Bombay, developed at IIT Bombay, which promotes the usage of various free and open source software in academia and also in industry. There are a lot of internship opportunities, fellowship opportunity, project-based opportunity, and even software development kind of opportunity that based on open source that FOSSEE project offers. The FOSSEE project is headed by Professor Kannan Moudgalya. Sir has joined us online. He will be sharing his view about the overall project as such. And as far as the IoT-based geospatial activity and the Mapathon is concerned, we have specific mandates, like usage of open source software is one simple mandate that we have put, which everyone has to acknowledge. And we also promote the adherence of national geospatial policy in every activity that we do. And we have foundational activities going up to job fair related activities. And in order to honor the effort put by open source community in geospatial technology, on September 15th at IIT Bombay, we are going to celebrate Open GIS Day, during which we are also going to honor people with National Geospatial Awards. And all these efforts have been taken forward by the FOSSEE project. At this special moment, we would like to thank our partners, mainly ICFOSS, who has set a trend in entire India of how to take open source based technologies and activities to the next level. We have IIT Tirupati Navavishkar Foundation, the Technology Innovation Hub of IIT Tirupati, Delhi Technological University, Delhi University, Survey of India, and all other partners. I'm sorry if I have missed any, but we are going to have sequence of inauguration events on May 12th. We are going to have a grand launch at IIT Bombay campus for certain aspects of the FOSSEE project. And as far as this year is concerned, we have some specialized themes: green energy and sustainability, hydrology, irrigation, precision agriculture, transportation and logistics, mountain ecosystem and economics. These are the prime themes that we are trying to focus on this year. Yeah, and finally, both the activities IIT Bombay-FOSSEE Geospatial Hackathon and Geospatial Mapathon. Only India-based study area should be identified, and participants are allowed only to use Indian data for these activities. The winners of these competitions will be eligible for applying for a national level internships with IIT Bombay FOSSEE project, summer fellowships, National Geospatial Research Fellowship. This is mainly for students. And like for institutions who are going for NAC accreditation and all those things, any activity that you do along with IIT Bombay FOSSEE project, you will be getting a letter of performance. We call it as performance summary, depending on the number of registrations and so on. We are happy that we have started this activity from Kerala, and we hope and we strongly believe that this success story will continue all across India. So on behalf of the FOSSEE project, our PI Professor Kannan Madgalia, our co-PI Professor Pennan Chinsami, and the partners, I thank ICFOSS, particularly Srinivasan sir, Jaykumar sir, Shafiq, Registrar Madam, Chitra Madam, Sunil sir, and everyone. In fact, everyone who has been instrumental in organizing this inauguration grand success. Thank you so much.
So thank you, Mr. Mohammad Qasim, for an insightful overview of the GIS initiatives undertaken by IIT Bombay-FOSSEE. It is with great honor that we invite Mr. Rajesh Kushalkar, Senior Manager of FOSSEE OSHW, IIT Bombay, to present an overview of the open source hardware initiatives.
Hello. So, myself, Rajesh Kushalkar. So, I generally head the open source hardware initiative under FOSSEE. Okay. So, as you all are aware, my presentation is basically from data to decisions. So, merging the IoT and GIS fusion for the smart solutions. So everybody is aware of IoTs. Basically, IoTs are the small edge devices which wake up at a certain time, gather some information, send it across the internet. Either it is connected through wire, wireless, or any distance. And this application collected data is used for future use, like monitoring real-time data and how to control for the future works. So a lot of applications are there, like using smart homes, what you will see majorly, healthcare, agriculture. ICFOSS has really done a lot of good work for the agriculture, where they use the IoT devices. Then GIS is, as Qasim told, is mapping to the world various things. What are the various rivers flowing? How the what are the various land structures, and all these things is mapped across the on the map of India or any places like that. But when both of the IoT and GIS meet, so I generally call it as a geography of things. So we have that Internet of Things, GIS, and there's a geography of things. So geography of things basically merges two of the things. Now, for example, if we just take, for example, a simple field, agriculture field, where some crop is growing. But you can just map on this particular area. In this particular year, so many crops are grown in this particular area. How much is the yield and everything? Everything can be mapped on the special data on the GIS. IoT is coming under role for what is the soil quality, how much is the water content, and all this thing can be given up for this thing. So the geospatial solution for the connecting world. So as I mentioned, for the agriculture, the smart cities, and even for the healthcare also. The smart cities basically uses for how the city is about the traffic condition, the air quality index, how is the drainage or garbage level, how it is clean up or not. and keeping the smart city very much clean. So a lot of things are coming up for the smart cities, and the same can be implemented for the other parts also. So now, as I mentioned, this is not only for the engineering students. So the students who are specializing in geography-related activities and all this thing, so these two interdisciplinary can be merged. That is what the main objective of this particular event is. It's not only the engineering students that they want to work on this particular platform. So if there are some geography student, a BSc student, if both of them can merge and try to come up with a teamwork and give the solutions for both the things. So the hackathon, as Kasim told, it is going to be very much beneficial to a lot of faculties, the students, and the institutions also, because you are going to get a national level recognitions from this particular event. So here the registration starts. Basically, the IoT Hackathon, the registration starts. You can learn the open source hardware from the FOSSEE website also, because we have created a series of tutorials which lets you understand how to program. If there's a newbie, totally new person who is not understanding any of the controllers or anything, so a student can learn from the very basics of it. And FOSSEE has got a series of spoken tutorials for it. So you can have certain ideas, brainstorm it, plan the designs, prototype it, coding and integration, then mapping a GIS. So there are two types of GIS mapping can be done. One is the stationary mapping, like a weather station, which is going to be a stationary part. So it is going to be one single GIS mapping can be done. But if it is a movable properties or movable assets, so that can be taken off from the movable GIS mapping. And submission of the presentation and evaluation and awardees will be there. So building together or exploring the open source hardware with the FOSSEE. So as I mentioned, FOSSEE offers a lot of open source tools which are freely available to download, and the training materials are also available on the FOSSEE websites. And I just hope all the students should be able to contribute for the open source hardware for the IoT and GIS applications. Thanks a lot. Thank you.
We extend our gratitude to Mr. Rajesh for his comprehensive presentation on the open source hardware initiatives.
Now, I welcome Mr. Srinivasan Ravindran, Program Head of ICFOSS, to provide insights into ICFOSS's open hardware, IoT, and GIS.
Good afternoon, all. Respected dignitaries on the dais, off the dais. It's a proud moment for ICFOSS, which started in 2010. We have the founder director also here. I would like to go through the journey of ICFOSS from 2010 to this time, and especially with emphasis on open hardware and things. Okay, this is about ICFOSS for general information. We are expected to promote the total ecosystem for open source, which comprises of capacity building, applied research, and incubation. At present, the focus areas are language computing, open hardware, assistive technology, and FOSS business solutions. In FOSS business solutions, we have got GIS, e-governance development, and ERP and such specific areas where we try to promote the business aspects of that. On the open hardware, we work on Open IoT and Open Drone. In Open IoT, we have a complete IoT ecosystem, which is proven across Kerala now using LoRaWAN technology, which is implemented across Kerala. We have got presence in each one of the districts. And we have got microclimate monitoring data coming from that live, which is available. And another aspect which we work on is the edge development boards. For the IoT ecosystem, we develop edge development boards. We work on energy harvesting. We work on edge analytics. We work on mesh networks. Mesh networks is specifically of relevance to the smart city and other applications, where we can extend the network to larger areas, even towards the seaside or inside the forest, and satellite-based IoT. On the open drone, we are looking for coming out with a 100% open source drone. We have a target date of 2025. We are almost 60% done on that. We expect all the components. And with that, we want to have swarm drones, delivery drones, payload customization, because it can be used for multiple purposes. Then disaster mitigation and vertical takeoff drones. These are the areas which we work in open hardware at present. The Open IoT projects which we have right now working, this includes consultancy projects and other aspects as well. We have LoRaWAN Kerala, which I mentioned, the entire Kerala portion. We have even tested in Carephone network. That means we can IoT enable the entire part of Kerala within a month. That's a possibility which we have completed, and we are open to take up that. And specifically for IoT enabling a panchayat or an LSGD area, we have a proof of concept established already in Katakada, which is IoT enabled Katakada. And we have projects running in Odisha, Grambikas, microclimate monitoring, smart air quality monitoring, smart water management, smart agriculture, industrial IoT. So these are some of the project scenes. The top one which you see is actually in Odisha. And we have got smart aquaculture and smart, Katakada project. All our projects are listed in openiot.in. All the data, live data is available in visualize.openiot.in. And lk.openiot.in is about the Katakada project. And specifically the one which we did for land use board, thanks to Dr. Shabrish, who instrumentally took a role in getting that done. This is about the Open IoT project. And this is about the GIS activities, where we do applied research. In the projects which are listed are all open source projects, specifically GeoNode and things like that. Rainy Motion and FreeWAT and all these projects are specifically. One specific relevance is OpenSDI, is the spatial data integration, which we have established in the Kerala State Geospatial Data Integration. And we have done so many of consultancy projects, especially Mapathon, Keralam, supporting KSEB in some of the initiatives. So these are the websites which give you some information about the activities which we do and the potential which we have on IoT, hardware, open hardware, and GIS. Thank you very much.
My heartfelt thanks to Mr. Srinivasan R for sharing the journey of ICFOSS in open hardware, IoT, and GIS. We are honored to have with us Dr. Sunil TT, Director of ICFOSS, who will now deliver the presidential address.
Respected dignitaries on and off the dais. So this is a very proud moment for ICFOSS to host the national level mapathon as well as geospatial hackathon at here in Kerala. So this particular area of applied research, GIS as well as IoT, is very special to ICFOSS, and maybe it has immense possibilities in the recent future, so that the entire community can benefit from these kind of activities. So I would like to once again thank everyone for joining here, because some of the dignitaries have to leave very early. I will not elongate my talk here. Thank you very much, everyone, for coming over here, and maybe we would continue the remaining proceedings. Thank you.
Our sincere appreciation to Dr. Sunil Titi for gracing us with his great words of wisdom. Now, we have the privilege of inviting Mr. M.G. Rajamanikam, IAS, Principal Director, Commissioner of Rural Development Department, to deliver the inaugural address and the launch of national level open hardware IoT Geospatial Hackathon website.
We open it first. So launch. We'll do the launch. We'll launch first. Yeah. Please. Okay. Launch. Yeah. Please. Launch first. Launch. Yes. And launching. Thank you. Director ICFOSS, Dr. Sunil, Mr. Muhammad Qasim, Ms. Chitra, Mr. Rajesh, Professor Kannan and Professor Pennan, Professor Roshan, Dr. Saji Gobinath, my dear colleagues, Mr. Rahul and Nizamuddin, Dr. Rajiv, my dear friends. So, good afternoon and all. With the permission of all, first of all, I declare the hackathon website, open. In fact, after seeing the esteemed panels sitting left and right to me, first I thought is that I'll go and sit there. On the one hand is Dr. Saji, Nizamuddin is remote sensing or head and smart city CEO Rahul. On the other hand is academic stalwarts. And I was thinking that where in this scheme of things where I will fit. So I thought better I'll sit there. In any case, it's like really very, very happy to become part of this ICFOSS hackathon today. At the outset, like say for example, this geography and geospatial, somehow it's like God-driven things to me. Even whether I like it or not, it will enforced upon me. So my limited knowledge regarding geography is that while studying in schools, we studied geography, that's all. And I was the one who mapped, some of the locations. So later on, even for the first year of civil service, some location which I'm supposed to map it in Ahmedabad, which I have mapped in Iran. So that's a level of geospatial knowledge which I had in the past. But in somehow, I ended up in taking geography as my option in civil services. And I studied this GIS and geospatial because it's one small paper there. So naturally, the educational system in which that we all grow, since I'm from Tamil Nadu, if you can't understand, my teacher used to say, if you can't understand, just mug up. At most of the time, we end up in mugging up. So ultimately, this GIS and geospatial, one paper in which that I wrote for my geography exam in civil services, I mugged up what is GIS and what is geospatial. Fortunately or unfortunately, I was the national topper in geography. Power of knowledge. And somehow I thought okay, geography is get rid out of me. And then ended up, after my training, I ended up as a sub-collector of Devikulam. It's in Munnar. I said, geography is somehow forced upon me by, God. In the sense, I ended up in a place where all kind of problems, where I am supposed to do a kind of a survey.
So first I thought like I will do a kind of satellite survey. The person who decided is, I mean, nothing but who marked Ahmedabad in Iran. So ultimately, it's like, I mean, that is where a slowly picking up of this geospatial and GIS, because we started doing this, it is back in 2009 or 10 or something like that. So there I just completely learned what is GIS and what is geospatial. Why I am particularly mentioning about this anecdotal experience, because so the importance of GIS and geospatial technology, which I don't need to explain to any one of you who are all expert, I mean, sitting here. I tell you one or two small examples in which that, I mean, how it can be used, not like that, how it can be used, why we should use. Because, say for example, since, I mean, most of the people who are here coming from outside, I mean, our state, as far as Kerala is concerned, everyone, especially outside, and including us, that we hear about Kerala. What does Kerala means? We'll simply say what? Is Kerala is socially, educationally, we are all first. Of course, there is no doubt. To be very, very frank, like you can be very proud Keralites, you go outside, whenever you go and outside you present, are you from Kerala? You have done this, you have done that. Including the one ICFOSS where you have started in 2010. It's a very good. So we are all having a lot of, I mean, positive among the Kerala. Since I'm leading LSDD now, heading LSDD as a department, a simple thing which I was thinking about is like, say, for example, our waste management, because IoT and this one can be used for smart water management. That is a keyword which I have taken from the queue out of that, and I was talking. The water management. So how far we are good at water management, if you see, in fact, our forefathers, they all created a very good system. What we have created is a spoiled the system. And who can correct the system? One who spoiled the system. So the next generation, that is the generation of you, is trying to fix the things which we have been spoiled in the previous generation and continuing now. So in the water management, if you are seeing, is like, say, for example, a simple example I tell you. As far as Kerala is concerned, approximately 3,800 million liter, MLDs, 3,600 to 800 MLDs of waste water is being generated in Kerala, especially in urban, areas and sewers I'm talking about. In terms of our processing capacity, you know how much it would be? Any guess from Keralites? What would be the capacity of our process, especially say liquid waste? Any idea? It's close to 350 or 60. It's not even 10%. Not even a 10%. So ultimately, what is happening is that we are all thinking, maybe including me, you, and everyone is thinking, whatever leave the solid past, the liquid waste we generate at home every day, what we are thinking is that, yes, my house is clean. My house, have a septic tank, no problem. Black water is there. Grey water, yes, of course, it is like, groundwater can absorb and grey water is managed. So ultimately, what is happening is that once our septic tank is filled, what will happen? In most of the cases, either we need to have a STP or FSTP. As I said, like the processing capacity of the Kerala is only 1/10 of what is the generation capacity. If that is the case, what we are thinking is that we are safe because we all have a septic tanks. So ultimately, at one point of time or one day, the septic tank has to be cleaned. So where that will go? We don't have a processing capacity. Where it will going? Where it is going? It is going somewhere surrounding our water bodies, somewhere polluting our groundwater. So ultimately, what is happening here is that the CWDRM report says 70 to 80% of the water in Kerala is, polluted with E. coli. E. coli is not very dangerous one, but what I'm trying to say is that E. coli is nothing but our fecal matter. So 70 to 80% of our water is, having inflicted with the E. coli materials. So we are all living in a place where water everywhere. Whether are we able to drink our water just like that? In my school days, I used to, because since I said I'm from Tamil Nadu, in my village, when we go to schools, When we come back, we go to a place called Urani. We drink water just like that. At least, I mean, any one of us can go and just stand in the water, leave drinking water, stand in the water. If you stand in the water somewhere in water body, you have to go and clean your leg. So that is the situation now. So ultimately, what I'm trying to say is that this hackathon, not only this hackathon, especially, I mean, a lot of people are here. So the mess, whatever that we created, not in the sense together we created. So we have to come together and collaborate and solve that mess. So ultimately, this hackathon, especially geospatial hackathons, I don't need to explain to you that what are all the, I mean, advantages of using it. Because in my practical life, I have done a lot of things. In the sense, I have seen a lot of things. I was a fisheries director, you know, I don't need to tell that how much it would be very, very useful, because one fisherman one day told, my entire crew's life is saved because of that. Because when they had gone, the sudden information is going that this is approaching. So they had come back. Ultimately, the other person who doesn't have actually, died in the Villinjam, area. So if I want to list out, advantages of geospatial technologies here, it's like, it's endless. That I don't need to explain. As I said, like, you are all expert to that. So we are gathered here, or hackathon is like to collaborate, technical minds of different diverse categories of people, geospatial experts, startups, and a lot of people are here. So bring out a technology, bring out, IoT and geospatial technology, which can solve a day-to-day life of a human being, which generally we used to do. Because technology is nothing but that, not for the sake of developing any technology. Technologies ultimately have to benefit a community, should benefit a society. So that is where the contribution of the human being as an individual, using your knowledge, giving back to the society. So in that context, this hackathon should, because since we are all sitting in Kerala, the brightest mind from Tirupati, Mumbai, and where else? They're all here, and all brightest minds of Kerala are sitting here. So bring out or cull the technologies which can solve the day-to-day problems of Kerala, which is actually very, very, very sensitive to address. So this hackathon should bring out such kind of a technology, discuss that, so that a collaborative mind can create a better and safe community and society. So this is what I want to convey about this, inaugural session of the hackathon. In fact, as I said, I am kind of a layman in front of the people who are sitting besides me, in front of me, but still, at least everyone in the society can contribute something or the other way to the society back. Somebody can contribute in a different way. Since you are all experts in this, area, we can together actually contribute to the problems of the society, to upliftment of the, our community, so that there are a lot of invisible things which we can make visible. There are a lot of impossible things which we can make possible through this hackathon. And thank you for inviting me here. Thank you, everyone. Thanks, one and all. Thank you.
A heartfelt thanks to Mr. M.G. Rajamanikam, sir, for inaugurating the National Level Open Hardware IoT Geospatial Hackathon and for your thought-provoking words. Let us now welcome our esteemed speaker, Professor Kannan Maudgalya, Principal Investigator of FOSSEE, Spoken Tutorial, Swayam Prabha, and NVLI, IIT Bombay, to deliver keynote address. His address will be presented online. Without a further ado, let us direct our attention to the screen.
Thank you. Can you hear me? Should I go ahead? Can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you, sir.
Okay, thank you. Okay, I'll get started anyway. Hopefully, you'll be able to see me soon. So I am Kannan Maudgalya. I'm a professor at IIT Bombay. Happy to have been associated with ICFOSS for many, many years. And I want to, first of all, thank all the dignitaries for and the audience for coming to this event this national level mapathon and IoT based geospatial hackathon. I want to give a brief background to the way that we are associated with in this activity, namely the FOSSEE project, so that we can go forward and do many more such activities in the future. FOSSEE stands for Free and Open Source Software for Education. We differ from many other projects in the sense that because this project is an initiative of the National Mission on Education through ICT, Ministry of Education. This project is different from other projects in the sense that we try to raise the students to the level of contributors. Students are not just recipients, but can they also contribute? So this hackathon and mapathon are actually activities aimed in that direction, that the students themselves can create and create some useful content that the world can use. Okay. So I would like to go through our website because that will give an idea of, can you see the screen? This is the FOSSEE website. We start with the quote of our beloved President, Dr. Abdul Kalam, former President. These are some of the projects that we work in. Scilab is a very good alternative to MATLAB. Python, everybody knows. eSIM is an electronic circuit design simulation software. OSHW is a steel structure design software. DWSIM is a chemical process simulation software. OpenFOAM is a computational fluid dynamics software. By the way, all these are open source software and FOSSEE works in all of them. And we look for experts, students to become experts and contribute in all of these areas. OpenModelica is an amazing modeling and simulation software. PLC, OpenPLC is the programmable logical controller. It's one of the hardware things. Arduino is something that Rajesh talked about. We have R. R is an alternative to SPSS. QGIS, you will hear a lot about it. Focal is free and open source creative art library. In this, we cover Blender, GIMP, and so on, Synfig Studio. Soul is based on science topics. So this is just to give an idea of what are the different topics we are working on. And every one of them will take you to the corresponding page. Everyone is a link, and those who are interested can actually look at it. And how do you come to this page? It is fossee.in. FOSSEE is FOSSEE.in. Free and open source software. We initially started with engineering education as suggested by the ministry. Later on, after seeing the success in engineering education, the ministry, that is Ministry of Education, recommended that we looked at science education and also other education in other fields. That's why we call it free and open source software for education. Now, what are the activities? We have an amazing activity called Textbook Companion. For example, in this, students create code for textbook problems, solve problems, and it through this we can create documentation. Okay. In fact, in Scilab, which is an amazing open source alternative to MATLAB, we have 1 lakh examples solved, coded by students, by 1,000 students across the country. They come from all colleges, 1,000 colleges from across the country. It's an amazing thing. In fact, because of this, I would say Scilab has actually become better than MATLAB in at least some areas. And then we do this for several other topics, for example, in R, SPS, R, OpenModelica, and DWSIM, and so on. Lab migration, this will help to migrate our labs from commercial software to open source software. And once again, details are here. Niche computer activities, you see flow sheeting in DWSIM, circuit simulation in eSIM, and so on and so forth. these are higher level projects in which our students have contributed. Okay, these are not necessarily created by faculty members, but by students. So in fact, I would urge all the academy, all leaders of academic institutions to encourage your students to contribute, to participate and contribute in this activity. And then we have forum and so on and so forth. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to stop sharing the screen. How do I do that? And point to 3 activities that we are doing, which shows our acceptance by leaders. One of them is certainly this Mapathon and GIS Hackathon, in which we are teaming up with IIT Tirupati and ICFOSS now. We are doing this activity animation, animate. In fact, that is a animation hackathon that we are doing. We did this with Whistling Woods International, for example, in the past. We are doing it now. In fact, it is open now. And we have more than 3,500 teams that have registered. The objective is to create an animation not more than 3-minute duration. Once again, this activity was, in fact, the chief guest for this was the celebrated director, Mr. Subhash Ghai. One other activity I will mention and then I will stop. In the area of refinery simulation, we are working with public sector oil companies using this software DWSim, and we are in the process of creating a refinery simulator that is an alternative to a very popular but very expensive commercial simulator, Aspen HYSYS. In fact, the Ministry of Petroleum is encouraging us to do this in a bigger way. Just to give an idea of what are the things that are possible in this open source arena, and I want to thank the organizers for giving me this opportunity to make a presentation on FOSSEE. Thank you. Over to you.
Thank you, sir, for sharing your expertise in the keynote address. Now we have the privilege of inviting Professor Pennan Chinnasamy, co-principal investigator and lead of FOSSEE GIS and PIC, the Rural Data Research Analysis Lab, IIT Bombay, to deliver keynote address.
Good afternoon, everyone. I won't go back to already the dignitaries have said a lot about why do you need GIS, what is the data and the problem. I will take one note from what the additional secretary said. There's a lot of problems, and if we expect the government to solve it, it may not happen. So here is a beautiful system that people can collect data, students can train them, education institutions can work, and then how that data can solve the problems. So let's look at India's development. India is growing very fast, and then new growth, new technologies are all coming up. And we are also surrounded by good friends who don't want to give us technologies. So what is happening is we need to produce our own technologies, technological solutions, of which IoTs, GIS, everything is very, very important. So I think all of you know what is Industrial 4.0. Similar to that, there is Agriculture 4.0 that the government is looking at. And all these have to be sustainable. So India is on a growing path. It has to be sustainable. So as the additional secretary was saying, initially there was no water qualities, but now there are water qualities happening. And that is because of our own, how we use the water resources, etc. So just a small introduction of climate and agriculture 4.0. A lot of climate change is happening, and today also the weather is very hot. So think about the farmers who are growing crops. It will be very, very stressful for them. So agriculture needs water. Groundwater is all polluted and need water for drinking resources, etc. And then new infrastructures are being built. But along this, there is also technological boom, which is your internet, technologies for making low-cost instruments. All of these are coming up. So government is focusing on this through the FAO's recommendation. I'm talking about central and state. All governments are working on agriculture 4.0. So if you look at closely the image, you will see a lot of connectivity happening between the farmer and the farm. And that goes up and down. So government will give you data about how much crops can be grown, how should it be grown, but also the farmer can give data. And that is the beautiful system we want to establish through the connectivity with ICFOSS. How can we let people, the farmers, the people who are using the resources, how can they give back data so that a better solution can be achieved? And this is just for agriculture. That you can use it for medical, you can use it for highways, connectivity, transportation, everything. So just to cut short, ICT means using of communication tools, whereas IoT is mostly about using Internet of Things. The last one is IoE, where Internet of Everything, you connect all this into a dashboard and then make it as a decision support system. So you have precision farming, agricultural drones, livestock monitoring, greenhouses. All these are very, very important. You need water security, food security, and health for better development. So even though we are on a development path, it should happen in a very sustainable way. So IoE connects everything, and everyone has smartphones. Why are we not using it for collecting data and giving it back? So this hackathon and mapathon that we have inaugurated today is going to focus on that, building capacity at the bottom with students and academics, and also looking at end users like stakeholders, the government, and farmers, how can they use this data? So all this data can come into one single platform, and that is the beauty of merging GIS and IoT into a map, and then the map goes as a dashboard. So all of you would be happy to understand, oh, if I have a Uber or not, or a taxi service. But how many of we are looking at, is there enough water for my farm? Okay, so this is a kind of device that we can use through IoT and GIS, and the best brains are the young brains who are working on this now, and we are surrounded by incubation centers and stuff. So how are they going to use it? By collecting multiple data, and also it should be affordable. Okay, so that is where IoT, this hackathon is going to focus on. It has to be open source, it has to be affordable and usable. So to summarize, growth in India is very positive in terms of development and stuff, and data collection is happening at tremendous rate. Your phone is actually giving data right now, right? It is giving about your location, it is giving about how far you traveled, is there congestion on the road, etc. But why are we not using it is the question. So all this data also can be stored. And what you see here is our IIT Bombay supercomputer. So if you collect data, one problem happens is, so with all this data, how can I analyze it? How can I analyze it fast? So these kind of supercomputers help you. And through this mapathon and hackathon activity, we're going to open it out for students and others to participate. So population with smart devices is growing, and smart village, smart city concepts need IoT and ICT tools. So I'd like to thank the ICFOSS team, FOSSEE team for all these things, and more important, the governments who have made this happen. Thank you.
We express our gratitude to Professor Pennan Chinnaswamy for delivering an insightful keynote address. Please join me in welcoming Professor Roshan Srivastava, Project Director of IITNiF, NMICPS, IIT Tirupati, to deliver a keynote address.
Thank you, everyone. Good evening. Good evening, everyone. Good evening, everyone. I still can't hear that. Good evening, everyone. Okay, then now that I have your attention, I'll just take your 5 minutes to explain you. I think we have been hearing from all our speakers why we are here for the IoT hackathon. But we have something I would like to talk about the IIT Tirupati. In fact, this is a technology innovation hub. which would kind of give you greater opportunities in combination with what FOSSEE is doing and ICFOSS is doing. We come from a national mission of interdisciplinary cyber physical systems, which is an initiative from Government of India. What Government of India has done is they have allocated about 3,600 crores to establish 25 technology innovation hubs. In this room, I'm very sure you name any technology you belong to, we fall under this 25 technology innovation hubs. So what we have done is the CPS is divided into 25 verticals. Let's say, like, for example, AI, ML, autonomous vehicles, bioscience, you name any technology, I think will be part of this CPS. Now, one of the technologies is positioning and precision technologies, which means GIS, remote sensing, GPS, or any other non-invasive technologies. Now, this is with IIT Tirupati. So we have been given 100 crores from the Government of India to establish this technology innovation hub. This is a 5-year program, and we are supposed to become a self-sustainable after 5 years. Now, all the technology innovation hubs have 4 major activities. The first one, what we are doing today, is to promote translational research. In fact, if you come and ask me 5 years back, what is your goal? I would say, like, I'll be publishing 5 papers, 10 papers in a year. But today we are looking at how do we convert this research into products. I think that is the aim, and then ICFOSS does a lot of things in that direction. So whole idea is to support technology development. So what we do is we fund projects. In fact, if you go to our website, much of the pamphlets are given to you. You can see that we are launching every month or every 6 months. There are number of projects related to technology development associated to positioning and precision technologies. The second major component is, yes, we develop technology, we support technology. Is there enough manpower, skilled manpower? So what we do, in fact, this is one of the, again, beautiful concepts from NMICPS. We support students across from UG to PG to PhD. Let's say, for example, there are startups who would require a manpower. Usually this is a problem for the startups. So we provide manpower where UG students get 10,000 per month for 10 months. We'll pay them, they go to the startups, and then they work for startups. Startups are any of the research communities. Likewise, we support PG students, we support PhD students, we support postdoc students. In fact, my postdoc is here today. So apart from that, we also do a lot of skill development programs. Now we have moved on from looking at simple skill development programs to actually go certification-based programs, where we are trying to bring in the industries together and say, like, what is the requirement you have today, so that we can focus on that requirement and create a skilled manpower for a specified industry. And the third most important component, I think ICFOSS also will be interested in this, is startup ecosystem. So right from the idea stage to the acceleration stage, we have all kinds of schemes. We fund from as low as 1 lakh rupees to as high as 2 to 3 crores for the startups. And then we also have something called international collaborations. Now, as we were talking, and Penan was also mentioning, we are bringing a lot of technology from the neighboring countries. Can we go and buy an IP and bring it to India and give it to the startups or an industry which can be used to develop in-house? When I say in-house, in-country. So these are 4 major activities what we do. And apart from that, I think the major focus what we have from GIS, remote sensing, we also do cutting-edge technology. For example, we are working on anti-jamming, anti-spoofing technologies. In GNSS, we work closely on NAVIC. If any one of you are interested in working open source NAVIC, IFOSS will be interested on. We also are interested in something upcoming technologies. What we are working is underwater navigation. Being Kerala, I think Cochin shipyard is one of the biggest shipyards in the country. We are trying to work with them to come with underwater navigation technologies. So in fact, you name any of the technologies, what you see, if I can change the slides, let me see. Yeah, any of the technologies, what you see, we'll be very happy to support. Apart from this, one of the activities is, of course, we are focusing on promoting heavily the open source hardware and software. There are a couple of programs we do. In fact, FOSSEE has been very kind to, make us involved in their projects. They have been the leaders in Mapathon, and now I think they have been also taking up this IoT hackathons. IIT Tirupati is very fortunate to get involved with them, and we continue to support these activities. Apart from this, we would also like to invite here people who are working in GIS for schools. We do GIS for farmers. We do a lot of training programs. If you have any questions or if you have any other information required about the IITTNiF, we'll be very happy to talk after this. Thank you. Thank you so much.
Our sincere thanks to Professor Roshan Srivastav for his enlightening keynote address. Now, we now have the honor to inviting Dr. Shaji Gopinath, Vice Chancellor of Digital University Kerala and APJ KTU, to deliver special address and to inaugurate IIT Bombay-FOSSEE Geospatial Mapathon.
There are two different programs. We can just correct. Same as your Mapathon? A little different. Is it similar to your Mapathon? Similar to your Mapathon? Yeah. Good afternoon. Before I start, let me know how many of you are from KTU here? KTU or affiliated colleges? Yeah, very few numbers. In fact, it's a bit disappointing because you heard all the great speakers from within the state as well as outside speaking about the type of challenges we face as well as the opportunities which are available. Now it is our turn to ensure that we find solutions to that. That's exactly what this hackathon is here. But I'm bit disappointed that only very few from KTU and affiliated colleges, that's primarily the technology community of the state, is actually represented here. Now, I believe that it's a major limitation from our side. I request our dean, because Dr. Vinu is here, that we need to really promote this very, very heavily into our community per se. Because it's high time that as teaching community, we should understand that the classroom education is not anymore relevant. The students can get far better knowledge from outside. They learn only when they actually start solving the problems. And the hackathon like this actually provide that opportunity. And that too in a state where Mr. Nisamuddin has actually proved how a world-class model for water management can actually happen if we can actually bring both IoT, geospatial and other technologies together. So I think it's high time that we need to really pull our socks, go back to our colleges, pull our colleagues and say that the IIT Bombay, IIT Tirupati and ICFOSS has launched this hackathon in Kerala. In fact, this is the first time I think a hackathon is actually been launched here. The reason why they have selected is not because we are doing great, it's because we are doing bad. I'm not joking, seriously, because what they say is that when they are doing the hackathons across the country, the least participation is coming from Kerala, which is very surprising because if you look at the FOSS community in the world, one of the largest contributing areas of FOSS community is from Kerala. Many of our students are actually contributing to many solutions across the world. But when it comes to the formal systems of university, somehow we are not doing that. And I think that is something which we need to break. And today when we are inaugurating, I think it is not just an inauguration of a hackathon, but a different mindset which the teachers have to take it. I have only one principal, I believe, here. And in fact, he's already a converted principal, so I don't have to speak about that. But please communicate to your other professors, other teachers, saying that when you have such opportunities, Mr. Rajamanikam has given very interesting problems. And he was telling me that he's shown only one problem of water management. There are other problems. The problems like man-animal conflict, the problem of old age, the problem of agriculture, the problem of smart city related aspects, traffic, all these what we call as exponential problems. And such exponential problems can be solved only if you think about innovative ideas to solve. and use technology in a very effective manner. And the best part of it is being an open source, open hardware, the technologies are available. You're also contributing to the collaborative development. And that is the context in which I think we need to look at this. Because we know that we are doing a hackathon, dime a dozen every week. But that is not what this hackathon should be addressed to be. It should be looked at something which actually solves the problems of the society. The reason why Dr. Sunil actually brought people from multiple domains, from smart cities, from LSD, etc., here is primarily to impress upon us that there are large number of issues which need to be addressed. There is an OI program which Professor Arun is aware of, because which has been driven by KKEM, where large number of problems from the local bodies are coming. There is an OI program where industry problems are coming. And many of these problems are amenable to be solved using these technologies per se. And I think I seriously request and sincerely request all of you, especially people who are in the affiliated colleges of KTU and other universities, to impress upon your students that their learning become really meaningful only when they actually solve some problems in the society using the technology. Let's hope that after this hackathon, again, IIT Bombay and IIT Tirupati and others will launch the hackathon here with a very different reason, that it's not that we don't participate, but there's an overwhelming participation in Kerala. So that motivates them to have it again over here. With that few words, let me stop. Thank you very much.
Let me extend my heartfelt gratitude to Dr. Saji Gopinath for delivering a thought-provoking special address and for inaugurating the Mapathon. It is with utmost reverence and honor that we extend our invitation to Mr. A. Nizamuddin IAS, Director of MNRE GA, to deliver a special address.
So, good evening, respected dignitaries on and off the dais. Actually, I'm really privileged to be here to give you some idea on what are the possibilities of this IoT and of free and open source software. As Dr. Saji Gopinath sir has rightly mentioned, see, I had a privilege to use both the technologies, the geospatial technology and IoT, to bring a solution, sustainable solution to a social issue in a particular area in Trivandrum district, wherein the Honorable MLA who represent the constituency, the Katakana MLA, Shri I.B. Sadish, the 6 Gram Panchayat presidents, the 6 colleges, including the Trinity Engineering College, which comes under KTU in that particular constituency, and also the school students who have been taken in hand in utilizing this technology for the last 8 years, and it is being still functioning well there. I'll just give you 1 or 2 examples on how we have been associated with ICFOSS in utilizing this technology. I am proud to say that I may be the first person in this hall to use the technologies utilized by ICFOSS, right from 2013 onwards. As Dr. Radhakrishnan and Ajit is here, with their help, we have developed the Kerala Land Resource Information System for the Kerala State Land Use Board, wherein we developed an asset mapper software using ICFOSS, and the entire data was integrated with the IITM, the then IITM, now it is Digital University. And right from 2013, I have been closely associated with both these ICFOSS as well as IITM and utilized the efficiency of this. And in the last 3 years, we have been we developed an automatic weather station with the help of ICFOSS and installed in 6 Gram Panchayats in the constituency, and we are monitoring the climate data for the last 3 years continuously. And I am feeling, I've been talking with the ICFOSS, including Srini sir here, that whether this technology can be taken forward so that we may be able to predict. Maybe it may be wrong, because we are depending on IMD data now. As we all know, for the Trivandrum district, we are having only 2 data for the Trivandrum district as a whole. 2,192 square kilometers, we are depending on 2 data, whereas in 100 square kilometers, we are having 6 automatic weather stations. So I'm sure that even if it is wrong, we may be in a position to give more appropriate data, because if you go to the website and see the 6 automatic weather stations in the constituency, the location of that 6 automatic weather station itself shows the difference in the climatic data over the different time periods. So this technology, see, and the cost involved for developing that technology, that automatic weather station, is very less actually. And that too, the award money which is being received by Kerala State Land Use Board has been utilized for developing the automatic weather stations. And after that, now we are monitoring the water quality as well as the water level in the ponds in the constituency with the help of IITMK and also a sensor installed by ICFOSS. So this technology can be taken forward. Now we are in the forefront to bring the first local self-government as an IoT-enabled local self-government in the state. And that too in Katakada, now we have installed automatic weather stations. We have installed air pollution measurement things. We have installed soil moisture measurement, NPK measurement. Likewise, almost all the possible IoT technologies is being utilized in the production sector as well as in the market, in the agriculture as well as veterinary sector. So I am here to take forward this program, and I hope that this is the right time. As Dr. Sajigamna sir has rightly mentioned, see, even though we are all almost in first place in many of the parameters in the national level, utilization of geospatial technology and similar technologies, we are very, very behind from the neighboring states actually. So this opportunity should be taken by us. Those who are sitting here, those who are being here, and you heard the opportunities. See, association with IIT itself is going to make a great change. I don't know how many of you have felt the importance of having IIT along with us in the way forward. So take it as an opportunity, convey this to your younger generation. See, why I'm saying this is because, see, the state government has launched Young Innovators program. I've been talking with Sunil also with this. Young Innovators program is also in the same line. But what happens is that we are all thinking only inside the box. We are not ready to think out of the box. So let this hackathon pave way to think out of the box and bring good solutions in the IoT-based as well as the geospatial technology. With the hope, as our VC has rightly pointed out, we are hoping for the best, and the next hackathon will definitely be a overwhelming hackathon, which shows that this has made way for upcoming future. With these words, I thank the organizers for inviting me also for this auspicious occasion. Thank you very much.
We extend our gratitude to Mr. A. Nizamuddin IAS for his valuable insights shared in this special address. As we conclude this illustrious event, it is my pleasure to invite Dr. Rajiv RR, Associate Professor at ICFOSS, to deliver a vote of thanks.
Very good afternoon, everybody. Honorable Chief Guest, distinguished higher officials and others present here. It is such an honor for me to get the opportunity to thank all the dignitaries here. It's my great privilege to extend my sincere gratitude to each and every one of you for gracing this occasion with your presence. I would like to express my deepest gratitude to all the delegates who have contributed to this event. We are honored to have our esteemed guest, Mr. M.G. Rajamanikam, IAS, Principal Director, LSGD, Dr. Saji Gobinasa, the Vice Chancellor, Digital University of Kerala, and KTU, Mr. Rahul Krishna Sharma, IAS, CEO of Smart City, Trivandrum Limited, and Sri A. Nizamuddin, IAS, Director, MNR EGA, and Professor Kannan, Maudalia, IIT Bombay, Professor Pennan, Chinnasamy, IIT Bombay, Professor Roshan Srivastava, IIT Tirupati, and Mr. Mohammad Qasim Khan, and Mr. Rajesh Kushalkar, IIT Bombay, for taking the time out of their busy schedule to grace us with their presence of this event. Thank you very much. Thank you so much for our valuable time and presence at the inaugural function. All the participants and dignitaries from different government departments and academic institutions from Kerala. Once again, thank you all. And now I would like to thank you, our director, Dr. Sunil Titi, our secretary and registrar, Chitra MS, and Mr. Srinivasan, sir, program head of ICFOSS, and for their unwavering support to organize this event. Your guidance and support have been instrumental in making this event as a great success. I also extend my heartfelt thanks to the team ICFOSS and IIT Bombay and IIT Tirupati for their invaluable collaboration with ICFOSS. Thank you all. Once again, I would like to thank each and every one of you making this event a great success. Thank you very much.
ഗസ്റ്റുകൾക്ക് ICFOSസിനെ എല്ലാം കാണണമെന്നുണ്ടെങ്കിൽ ജസ്റ്റ് മൂവ് അറൗണ്ട്. ICFOSസിന്റെ ഫെസിലിറ്റീസ് എല്ലാം തുറന്ന് തന്നെയാണ് ഇരിക്കുന്നത്. യു ക്യാൻ ജസ്റ്റ് മൂവ് അറൗണ്ട് ആൻഡ് സീ.